Okay, welcome to another continuation of my teaching live stream. We're going to start this talk off with a question that I got. I get this question quite a lot with a potential client who was on my live stream. I think it was 2 days ago, and we spoke over a call, and we made an agreement to work together. He hasn't he hasn't made the payment yet, so maybe he's changed his mind, and that's totally fine. I told him in the email to really think about if he's serious about committing to my coaching. If not, it's best not to do it because I haven't got time to waste, and I only coach people that are committed on my paid programs, and that's not just committed financially, which you have to be, but also mentally and emotionally. Otherwise, stick to the free content, watch the videos, and learn from my teaching for free and save your money. But nonetheless, if you're not going to spend the money and you're going to watch the videos and the streams, you're going to have to invest in your courage, and we'll get to that in a second. But it is a really challenging thing. I've made some notes here. I've got my phone so I can refer to some notes. It helps me to articulate the coaching session in a more simple way. I did a stream earlier on. It was brilliant. Probably the best one that I've done in 10 years. We had a great stream earlier on. It was about 2 hours and 20 minutes. Now, I wanted to do this as well because I want to show people how dedicated you've got to be if you want to be successful in anything in life, especially with anxiety. You can't treat it like a part-time job, because if you do, you're going to fail. You're going to get part-time results. So you've got to be fully committed if you want to be successful. And I'll get into that in a minute, because success means different things to different people. But we're talking about being successful at getting past the pattern of procrastination, which is anxiety. It's just a word that people use. It's quite a polite word. I guess it's a professional word, but really it means fear, anxiety. People procrastinate because they're scared to do the things that they want to do, that they know that they should do, that they need to do. Or sometimes people need to do things that they're not going to enjoy, but they need to do them. So, you have to understand that it's human, that everybody procrastinates. Everybody is scared. Everybody is afraid of change until they practice it enough times where they build a tolerance, they build skills, they build mindset, courage, strength to handle these things, and they change their perspective. And I've said before, this is the question that I will always ask anybody that wants to work with me and do my coaching, or anybody that asks me about how to change their life. The first question I'll always ask them is, what's your purpose? Or I will say, what's your goal? What's your reason? And the reason why I ask that, because I know if they can't answer that question, they're not going to be successful yet. Because that is something that you need to have, because you won't make it without that. When I say you won't make it, I don't mean like forever, but in this life, getting to where you want to get to and becoming the person that you want to be and sharing your story and healing and getting past anxiety, you're not going to make it. It's too difficult. I couldn't make it. I couldn't do it without a purpose. I had to find a reason to live. I had to find a reason to be brave. Everyone's got their own reasons, and we'll get to that in a second. Bear with me. So, right, so I've made some notes. You can get your questions in. I love the questions. I'll answer the questions. So you're not interrupting. Put the questions in. And if I can't answer them right now, if I'm in flow in the conversation, I'll get to them. Right, okay. You can also check out the last stream that I've done. Probably the best one I've done. We had such a great bunch on. I couldn't have done it without everyone on the stream. Everything's in there. There's like 2 hours and 20 minutes. How to make money being a good person. How to overcome pretty much any anxiety. You've got my story in there. You've got all the details. How to deal with shame. How to forgive. How to be a better person. How to let go of past anger, hurts. So much information and knowledge is in that talk, which is on the channel. Okay, this is brilliant. I'm going to start off by reading this. This is lovely, this tea. Okay. Right. Okay. So, the anxiety of changing an unhappy, an unhappy relationship to a positive and happy one. And when I say relationship, I know what a lot of people are thinking, but I'm not referring to what you're thinking. People are thinking about a romantic relationship or a marriage, which is great. It can be that, or guys are thinking about a relationship with a woman, or women are thinking about a relationship with a guy. I'm talking about the relationship with everything. So let's say that you go to a gym right now, but you don't like the gym. It's not making you happy. The environment's negative, or you're just not enjoying it no more. But you stay in that gym, but you don't want to stay there. You want to change gyms and you want to find a gym where you feel happy and comfortable. That's what I'm talking about. That's a negative relationship. And that comes back to yourself. It's always like that when we're really honest, all of us. If we're going to a gym and we don't like it, but we keep going and we keep complaining, we keep moaning, it's because part of us is damaged or procrastinating. Can you see how it works? So in order to change that relationship, and I know it can sound extreme, right? Because some people might be thinking, what is he talking about? Like if you go to a gym and you don't like it, you just leave and go to one that you do like. That's true. That is true. You're right. But it goes deeper than that. A lot of people don't realize that they won't change the gym because they don't value themselves enough, or they don't love themselves, or they don't like themselves, or there's a part of them that isn't healed. So they might like some of themselves, which is great, but part of them is still functioning from trauma or I'm not good or anxiety, which goes back to procrastination. So why would someone go to a gym for a year or 2 years knowing that that gym is affecting their mental health and it's not making them happy, but they keep doing it and they pay for it. They pay for it, knowing that they can leave the gym. No one's stopping them. They're not going to die. They don't need to be rude. All they need to do is make a decision and say, right, I want to cancel my membership. Speak to the people and say, hi, excuse me. Thank you very much. I've really appreciated your facilities, but I want to change now. I want to cancel my membership. And the people will go, no problem. And they give you the details. But why don't people do that? Well, I'll tell you a story. The person I was describing was me, but I'm also describing you and many of us. I was going to a gym and I wasn't enjoying it anymore. And I got stuck. I got stuck in one of my old patterns. And that's how I recognize this pattern in all of you. And when I work with clients, because we're all human. None of us are perfect. I'm certainly not. But we have got something brilliant in us. We can do a lot more than what we're doing. If we've got the courage to say, I'm afraid of that and I'm procrastinating and part of me doesn't feel good enough or part of me doesn't feel worthy or I know I'm good enough, but I'm afraid of it. This has been true for me many times in my life and clients. I've actually been afraid. I've been terrified, absolutely petrified to my boots of actually living and believe from a healthy place. I don't mean being egotistical in a really negative way, not like that, but really appreciating who I am and believing what my mum told me growing up, what my dad told me, what my lovely nan told me, or my friend, or someone I met, or a teacher, when they've said, you're a really great person, you're really good enough, you're lovely as you are. Actually, to believe that and live from that place, I've been terrified, absolutely terrified, because I've had to face parts of me that don't agree with that. So when I realized this, I said, you know what? I'm going to change this gym. If I want to be a better teacher and I want to help more people, I have to work on myself, which is brilliant. That's why I spent the time with Jeff, which was amazing. I spent 3 years working with Jeff Thompson, who was a mentor and a very good friend to me. And when I worked with Jeff, it was all about taking full responsibility and really working on it was really honest work. Of course, you could acknowledge and say, I'm hurt, that person hurt me, but it was all about working on yourself. So I really appreciate the teaching and the time with Jeff, because it's stayed with me for life. The tools that he taught me, what I learned. And I remember Jeff saying, you can teach this to your guys or your girls. And, he was always complimentary to me as a teacher and a human being. So procrastination is a very serious thing when you get down to it, depending on your perspective, right? If we just want to have fun and not take life too serious, which is great, and I like doing that, then we can just laugh at it, and I can make fun of myself and joke around and say, I can say, you know what, I'm scared, I'm a coward. I can't even cancel my gym membership, but I've gone out and done public talks, all around the world. I've faced life and death situations and I've survived them. I've been around strong people. I've been strong myself. I've helped so many people, but here I am as a grown man, frightened to cancel his gym membership and calling his mum up for sympathy, love, validation. Maybe validation is not the right word. Reassurance. But when you can admit that and be honest and laugh at it, then you can change it and say, but I'm not going to take it personal, because none of us are so perfect in every area. None of us are. Neither am I. But we can keep improving and appreciate who we are. And it's brilliant. There is a balance. And a lot of you probably, you can feel the kindness, that balance that I have now, that I've achieved through honesty, through gratitude, but through taking responsibility and accountability and wanting to be a better person. So when you want to be a better person and you want to give more to people and you want to enjoy your life and be as honest as you can and truthful, it gives you a purpose in life. Then it's not as difficult to face your procrastination and your pattern wherever it shows up. So let me continue reading. So the anxiety of changing an unhappy relationship to a positive one. Change is painful for a period of time, but it's worth it in the long run, especially when you make it to the other side and you live to tell the tale. And what I mean by that is, it's nice when you can share stories and have conversations with someone from an honest place, but you can also inspire people. We all listen, every single day we either inspire one another or we do the opposite. We bring one another down. And that's based on our own choice. If we're really aware, depending on the mindset we're in, but we're either doing one or the other. In every conversation we're having, in every single interaction, we're either inspiring someone, they're inspiring us, or we're just kind of being depressed, ungrateful, and bringing them down, or we're kind of numb in the middle. So most people stay stuck in their lives because they fear the pain and the stress of changing their situation, because it's comfortable and safe to stay where they are, despite it making them unhappy, unfulfilled, resentful, miserable, angry, bitter, depressed, and ruining the quality of their life. People are often tricked into believing the mind, the anxiety, the negative belief that says that they can't change their situation. It's not possible for them. It's not safe. They're not good enough. They're not attractive enough. They don't deserve it. They're not worthy. Everyone else is better than them, or whatever the case may be. So how do you confront such anxieties and procrastination and fearful patterns to change your life? Well, number one, you need to invest in a mentor. You need a mentor, someone who lives what they teach, someone who has done what you want to do, or is in the process of living their life in that way. Without a mentor, I'm going to be honest, it's impossible. I couldn't do it without mentors. I could not have done what I've done I'm 40 years of age, and the things that I've overcome for the last 20 years, it's been a journey. I could not have done those things on my own. I weren't strong enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not strong enough to do it as strong as I am. I couldn't do it without God. I couldn't have done it without Les Brown. I couldn't have got through certain trials and tribulations without my dad, my mum, other teachers, friends. I couldn't have done it. I tried to do it on my own, and I failed every time because I weren't strong enough. And when you're honest about that and you're humble, you feel great, and then you can move forward. And I haven't met anyone on my walk of life. I've met so many amazing, interesting people. I've not met one of them who could do it on their own, who didn't have a mentor at a certain period of time. Now, I'm not saying that you need a mentor with you. Of course, that's not natural. So there are times where I've done a lot on my own. Hours and hours, I'm doing it on my own now. But you can't do it on your own forever all the time. There are certain times in our life, guys and girls, where we need help. We need support because fear is so powerful. Procrastination is so powerful. It grips people. So it's important to invest in a mentor. And I guess you're doing that right now by coming onto my stream, and I appreciate that. So the second way is you need to find a purpose in life. Like I said earlier, if you don't have purpose, if you don't have a reason, if your purpose and your reason isn't bigger than your fears, you won't do it because fear will win. It will talk to you, it will trick you, it will frighten you, it will blackmail you. Your mind, your ego will play all the tricks that it plays. It will terrify you emotionally, mentally. It will do whatever it can to frighten you back into staying where you are. It will create an identity. I think I've scared everyone off this stream. I understand. So, the truth, it does scare people. It's scared me at times, but I'm not trying to scare people. I'm trying to inspire them, excite them, and give them strength and give them the truth of what I've learned, what I continue to learn. The third one you need the practice of daily discipline. So get a mentor, get someone you trust. And if it's not me, it doesn't matter. Please find someone that you trust, that you like, and work with them, pay them. Spend money, because if you don't spend money, you probably won't do it. If you don't have the money, but you're determined to do it, get free mentors, get the free mentorship. That's what I done when I started in my journey. I didn't have any money. So it's not like I had savings. I had no money. I was broke. But I got the free mentorship from Les Brown, and I appreciate it till this day. This is 15 years ago. So listen, there's no excuses. Listen, if you don't have the money, that's no excuse. You've got time. You don't need money to be successful, and you don't need money to overcome procrastination. You need courage. You need strength. You need discipline, daily discipline. So a mentor, a purpose, a reason for living, breathing, and wanting to get past these fears and be a better person and succeed in your life, in your relationship, and we'll get to that in a second, and daily discipline. Without daily discipline, procrastination will win the battle every single time, because procrastination is a pattern of thinking. It's created from the thinking, the mind. It's created by emotions. Thinking and emotions is what creates patterns of procrastination. And people create an identity which isn't true. It's not them, but they get tricked into it. So people say things like, they actually say it. They say, I always procrastinate. I always start things and then I cancel them. What they're saying is, that's my identity. It's not your identity. It's not your identity. You don't realize that you've been tricked into believing it's your identity. You are not a thought. You're not an emotion. You're human. We have emotions. We have thoughts. That's not who we are. How could you be every thought? If you were every thought, we'd be changing people every second of every minute. We have all sorts of thoughts that don't make sense, all sorts of emotions. So your emotions are part of the human experience, and your thoughts, it doesn't sum you up as a person, but it is a pattern. It's where you get stuck in your thinking and your beliefs. And at times, procrastination, when people get stuck, it's an inability to be courageous and to have that character and to act on their courage. But I will say this though, and I keep saying it. It's tough, this. It is hard. It is hard. I've got a lot of compassion for all of us. It's not easy. I'm not going to lie. It's challenging. But at the same time, I gave two perspectives the other day. People really liked it. They're both true. Depending on how you feel and how you're thinking and what your purpose is, it can be really easy. It can be really easy. But that's not to take it lightly. So it is good. I really try and work at being humble, because whenever I'm not or you're not, you get humbled. Life is a way of doing that. Mike Tyson's right, and God has a way of doing that. But there is a healthy balance of saying, come on, I want to sort my life out. I want to be strong, humble, and I want to get past this. I don't want to keep making excuses and not being accountable. So I've just gone on to say here, right, and anyone can do this. And I've done this for all of you. It might sound crazy, but it's the truth to help you to do it. So I overcame an incredible pattern of procrastination in 2017 when I had a mental health breakdown after being successful, and I was stuck. That was pure procrastination, even though we could justify it. Obviously, it's not my fault I was unwell. It was my responsibility to respond and come back, and I got the help. I followed all the things I just said. This is such a coincidence. Didn't even always learning. So the first thing I done was I got a lot of mentors. My mum, my dad, doctors, therapists, psychologists. Actually, Jeff helped me as well. He was still helping me during that time. It was amazing. A couple of friends, a good friend of mine. She's my childhood friend. She helped me. All mentors, all helping me. And I read the Bible. So I did these three things. They work. I had mentors, and I had to refine my purpose for living again, because I lost it. I lost purpose when I had a breakdown. I lost the meaning and desire to live and keep going. And then number three, I practiced daily discipline. So I changed my entire teaching, my business, my body shape, my life, because I gave myself permission to, once I got to that point of, being strong enough. It no longer felt right for me to be where I was in my life in 2017. So I decided to move my life and my relationship with myself to where it did feel right. It's all about changing that negative relationship with yourself to a positive one and a more aligned one. You can't change your life situation without changing yourself. I see this every week when I mentor clients who are stuck between wanting to change from one place to another, but fearing and struggling to let go of that negative part of themselves, which is keeping them in a relationship that they no longer want to be in and stopping them from getting into a relationship that they want to be in. Nobody is stopping you or any of us from changing other than your fear, your negative self, the procrastination. Most people are waiting for permission from another person to change their life situation. So I've just gone on to say there, and just stating the obvious. I teach all my committed clients how to change their life situation by changing that fearful pattern in themselves, which is keeping them a prisoner in a home that they no longer enjoy living in. So let's go into this. I'm really pleased that this gentleman brought this up the other day, because he triggered this live stream today. Right, so let me share this. Wow. It's interesting because I don't take it personal. I'm just fascinated with people. Lots of people come on my stream, but there's certain titles where people don't come on them. People get scared of it. Even the title, that's what fear can do. And I totally appreciate that. And I've done the same. I've seen certain titles come up on live streams on YouTube, and I didn't want to click on it because I was scared. I was scared to face the truth in myself or my life, because the title brings stuff up. Okay. Let's yeah. Where were we? I don't think I've ever enjoyed teaching and doing these live streams as much ever, even though I'm going through suffering like we all are. And that's not a victim story because I'm growing and I'm doing the best I can to get my message out more. And obviously, life is challenging for all of us, even when you live your purpose. And I'm extremely grateful. I'm grateful right now. Every day I'm grateful for my everything, my family. But as we know, life itself is challenging. Even when it's going well, it's really, really challenging for me and my psychology. But like I said earlier, if you continue to work on yourself, things get easier and easier. And sometimes they don't, they get really challenging. You know what now? Intuition. I don't need the phone now. So I'm just gonna speak. I'm gonna speak the sounds a bit cheesy when you say it today, it makes me laugh, but I'm gonna speak the truth. Probably more a student if I'm being honest. I don't really like the idea. I'm not better than anyone and I'm not below anyone. I'm just another scared person who's insecure like everyone else, who's got a mind which plays tricks on me. But I have a purpose, I have faith, I have a drive, and I've got a healthy confidence that I know I can do it and I want to help as many people as I can before I leave this planet and have a great time. And my experience gives me the confidence to keep going, my gratitude, my faith, all of you, and many other things, a collection of everything that I've been through, the good, the challenging, and the indifferent. So, back to procrastination and relationships. So, remember at the start, I said, when I say relationships, I know that a lot of people, they're not wrong, but they will immediately think, well, I'm presuming I could be wrong. Please tell me if I am. They will immediately presume that I'm talking about romantic relationships between a man and a woman or dating. And I am talking about that, but I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about the relationship with yourself, with ourself, and how our relationship with everything else plays a part in how we feel. So let me give an example. Listen, man, praise Jesus, I forgive you, man. Appreciate what you're saying. I forgive you and I appreciate it. So let's say my relationship to the gentleman who has just criticized me was an angry one, which it isn't. I would be angry, I'd be upset, I would react. But because I've got a good relationship and because my faith in Jesus Christ and my faith in myself, I can forgive. And I can just say, forgive the person. Because when people are criticizing and attacking, it's because they're not happy. And that's where they're at. But we've all done that. We've all been a critic, like this gentleman who wants to come on the stream and say these things because he's feeling not great about himself. Because when you're in a good place and when you're living your purpose, you don't have time to criticize people. So, relationship is all about your relationship with yourself. So, if you've got a good relationship with yourself and you practice discipline and humility and being a good person and helping people, you'll enjoy most of the things that you do. So, I can sit here now and I love it. I enjoy it. I simply enjoy doing the live stream, teaching, helping people, and drinking the tea. I can also say that I love this gentleman because I see him as a brother, even if he doesn't like me. Because without critics, without this young man, I wouldn't be the man I am. I wouldn't have had to work on myself. I wouldn't have had to overcome my fears of being frightened of people criticizing me, of facing life and death situations. So it's a blessing. And that's another reason. This is another reason why people procrastinate, because they're afraid of what I'm experiencing, which I'm not, because of my faith, because I love what I do, and because I've been able to forgive people. They're afraid of being criticized by people that are online, by people who are cowards, who lack character, who lack humility, who don't have faith. But obviously, as a Christian, challenging, we must practice forgiving our enemies or people that attack us, and understanding that they're not in a good place, that they don't feel good enough, whatever they're going through. And we all need forgiveness included. So how do you build a better relationship with yourself? Like I said, you have to know who you are. You have to have the courage to live from your values, and you have to accept that when you're successful and you're confident and you're happy, lots of people won't like you. And that is a fact. You can't escape that. But if you can accept that and accept that they don't like you, it's not personal. It's because they're jealous. It's because they're resentful. It's because they don't have the courage to do it themselves. And deep down, they feel rejected by you. They feel abandoned. Even though that's not true, that's how they feel. I studied psychology. I understand the mind. I understand people. I've been coaching for 12 years. I've grown up in an area of drugs, of crime, of violence, of poverty. I've been in the boxing ring. I've been in many different circles. And I've obviously taken time to get mentors to help me to be a better person and to continue growing. So really understanding the mind, understanding people. But when you can appreciate the goodness in people, there's a lot of good people out there that have got good hearts, they're kind, that gives you a purpose. So when your purpose is bigger than your ego and you want to change people's lives and you're willing to go through hate, criticism, slander, people saying things that are not true, sometimes people telling you the truth about things about yourself that you don't like. If you can go through that and you can grow through that, you're going to live your dream life. So that's why a lot of people procrastinate on their dreams. They're not in the right relationship. They're not in the right career because they're scared of criticism. So that's why it's challenging, but you have to thank critics. If they're being nasty, it doesn't make it right, and they're not going to escape their own karma. So when you're hateful to other people, you hate yourself. You don't escape it. It's like my mentor Jeff said, if people understood psychology better and they understood that when they're hateful and nasty to other people, that they destroy themselves, you can't escape it. You can't drink poison and expect to kill your enemies in that way. It doesn't work. It just poisons you. What you can do is you can learn self-defense. For anybody out there that's racism or bullying, learn martial arts for men and women so you can defend yourself. That's what I've done. But also work on forgiveness and just don't take it. It's a compliment. It's a compliment. Every time I got criticized, it's always when I'm successful. It's always when things are going well. I've never been criticized by someone who's doing better than me. And I've never been criticized when I was broke, financially, mentally, emotionally, and I couldn't come out of my flat. So I understand the psychology of a critic. You have to learn. You have to learn spiritual warfare if you're going to live this life as a good person and work on yourself as well. Take responsibility. But it's worth it. It's the warrior's journey. And Tyson Fury gets it. And David Goggin gets it. And it doesn't matter what color you are, background, creed, man, woman, anybody that's successful will always be criticized by some people. It's a story of mankind. So it's not personal. It's never personal. It's always about them. It's always about how they feel about themselves. So critics will always expose how they really feel about themselves, which is why I practice it every day. It's a good discipline. It's not easy treating people how you want to be treated. And that comes with overcoming procrastination. So when we say things like, oh, I just procrastinate on my business, there's a lot more to it than that. When we say that I don't do my, I'm procrastinating on my tax, I'm putting it off, there's a lot more to it than that. It's because people are frightened of criticism, they're frightened of suffering. But what I would say is, you don't want to go to your deathbed living with regret and realize that you didn't live your dreams, or you wasn't kind, you didn't live your purpose because you cared what people think. But I do understand it. It is a terrifying fear to face. But in my story, on my journey, I've faced the fear of death, criticism. At times, I've been through it. It's not bragging rights, but I'm really telling you the truth. I've had people say that we're going to shoot you, we're going to stab you, we're going to rob you. So when you go through that and you make it, and you're still a man of faith, you're not scared of it anymore. You're not scared of it. You're more balanced with it. You're more scared of not appreciating the people that you love, not living from your heart every single day, and actually treating people bad. I'm more frightened of not treating people right, good people, than I am someone throwing hate at me or criticism. And that's what I appreciate about having a mental health breakdown, that it humbled me. That was so painful that a criticism from someone, I can't feel it. But it also was beautiful because it changed my life. It made me work on areas where I was not being great. So all these things, it's all part of the reason why people don't change, but many people do. So that's why things are not changing for you at the moment. I mean that respectfully, because you're not willing to go through suffering, pain and suffering, the pain and suffering of changing. And the amount of people that I've met on my journey, I could cry from, and they're not all clients. They're just people, lovely people that I meet on my journey, men, friends, women, different ages. The amount of people I meet that are so talented, and they say to me, yeah, but I'm afraid, Jonathan, I'm afraid to go and start that business, or I'm afraid to sing, or I'm afraid to build a coffee shop business. And I say, well, I understand that you're afraid. We're all scared. Why don't you do it? Because I care what my friends will think about me. I fear what my country will think, what my neighborhood. And I say, isn't that a shame? Isn't that a shame that you value the opinions of other people more than you value the opinion of yourself? You've got greatness. Why do you care what they think? Why do you care what they think? They're not happy anyway. They're not kind. They're miserable. And you're kind. Forgive them. Live your dreams. But obviously, I can't make someone do that. I can only share my story. And if they ask me, I tell them the truth. And when they say, how did you do it? How did you overcome the fear of being successful in teaching? By finding my purpose, by having a purpose which is bigger than just me. If it's just about me and it's just about you, then probably won't last very long, because it's too selfish. So when you live your purpose, believe me, you'll be in such a good place. You'll want to help a lot of people, obviously in the right context. So it's really true, if you're not getting criticized, it's because you're not doing anything in your life. You're being a coward. I mean that respectfully. I'm trying to help people. It's a dictionary definition. You're being selfish. So if you're being criticized, it's because you're doing great things and you're helping people. Because everyone's got an opinion. Everyone's got an opinion about everyone. All of us have. Our mind's got an opinion every minute. But how many people are changing lives? How many people are making a difference? How many people are taking responsibility? These are really challenging questions, depending on who's listening, who wants the answers. So all the people that have changed my life, they've all been through the same, the criticism, the slandering, but they made it through. It gives you character. If everybody says nice things about you, it feels good, don't get me wrong, but it wouldn't be good for you in the long run. Like my father taught me growing up, some of the things he taught me, which were tough. And I didn't really understand those things at the time, and I thought he's being too hard on me. But now I understand about discipline, about respect. And my father would say to me, you respect your mum. Hey, wake up, get up, you're sleeping too long. Wash the dishes. Me and your mum work hard. And you better prepare because life's tough. I used to think, what's he talking about? Life's tough. My life is great. I want to go out with my friends and play video games. He's trying to tell me what to do. I don't want to hear this. He's trying to bully me. But he wasn't. He was preparing me for a tough world. People can be tough. They can be nasty. They're weak. They're cowards. But nonetheless, if you're not tough and you don't know how to handle it, it can break you. But if you've got faith, if you've got gratitude, if you've got a good heart, you can handle it. You can handle it. Look at Floyd Mayweather. Look at Floyd Mayweather. We've all done it. He gets so much criticism. Of course he does. Why? Because he's the best. He's arguably probably the best. Look, it's up for debate, but he's one of the best boxers of all time. You can't deny that. Look what he's achieved. Whether you like him or not, but he gets loads of criticism. People hate him because he's successful. But they don't hate or criticize a boxer that's unknown. So criticism is a compliment. It's just people say it in a very different way. Sometimes critics are more honest than your closest friends and family who don't want to hurt your feelings. So there's some deep truths here. And these are things that you learn. But if you want to stay as you are, I won't judge you for that. I understand that. But I'm going to tell you the truth on how you change your life and what you've got to face and things that are going to come at you. So that's why people procrastinate. And the most common ones is because I think deep down, this is a perspective that can be very true. I think a lot of people, I think everyone has got a gift, every single person, even everyone's got a gift, even the critics, everyone has. No one's better than anyone. But a lot of people are scared of it. They're scared of their own potential. So they procrastinate and they're frightened that they're going to lose the approval of other people. And that's probably true. You will. The facts, there is some truth in that. You know, sometimes these are harsh truths people don't want to hear, that their friends probably won't like them when they're successful if they change. And family members can also not like it. But you can't live like that, because otherwise you're going to, you know, people end up committing suicide because they're in so much pain, because they're not living their dreams, they're not following their heart, they're not doing the right thing, that they just get to that point. Now, of course, if you've got good friends like I have and you work on yourself, then they're not going to be jealous of you, because they've got nothing to be jealous of, because they love you and they're living it themselves. And you want everyone to do well. So your character needs to be worked on. But deep down, people know this, and the procrastination has its own intelligence. It knows, you know, deep down, you know that if you change your job and you start your own business, probably your friend won't like it. They will disapprove. They'll say you're weird, or they've already criticized you. So you're not going to do it if you're scared, because you're scared of losing approval. But if you can overcome that fear by finding a purpose in life and following your heart, and you can do things with respect. So you can, look, if this doesn't happen no more, but I've been through it. When I first was on my journey, I had a whole social circle of friends that I loved and I liked. It wasn't perfect. It was a little bit fake, but I still like them. I still love them. I still care about them. I still care about them now. But when I was successful, they didn't like it. They got jealous of me, and I lost all of them. They couldn't cope. They couldn't handle the fact that I used to be on benefits. I used to have no girlfriend. I didn't have any confidence. I had low self-esteem, but then I changed. You know, I prayed to God. I found Les Brown and I got a beautiful girlfriend. I made money. I set my own business up, and I was still me, and I became an even nicer person, even kinder, but they didn't like it. Their egos didn't like it. So they stopped hanging out with me and they ruined the relationships by being nasty. But I was fine with that, because later on I attracted better quality relationships, better quality friends. And that's something that everyone's going to go through, unless you don't want to be successful. You're going to lose people. You're going to lose it. When you change, people don't like it unless they love you, they're not jealous, and they're doing the work and they live in their dreams. So really what I'm saying is, if you're living your purpose, someone who's not living your purpose, their ego won't like you. Generally, this is the nature of people. You have to study people. You have to learn this. And you know it. Ask yourself how you behave. Be honest with yourself. You can change it. I'm not judging you. When you go online and you see someone that's successful, how do you feel about them? Do you hate them? Do you judge them? Do you feel ashamed? Do you want to attack them? And if that's the answer, that's why you're not successful. But if you could say to me, no, I don't actually. Yeah, of course, there's some people you go, they're not for me, but you don't hate them. If you can see someone that's doing better than you and love that person, not have animosity or jealousy, you're already successful. You're already in the right place. Your character's in the right place. But that is few and far between for most people. And I know because when I was younger, I was jealous. I didn't like it if someone had more money than me. I didn't like it if they were better looking than me. I didn't like it if they're more confident. It made me feel insecure because that's where I was. So I changed that. Now I don't feel that. I love it. I love seeing good people prosper. I actually like it that people do better than me. It inspires me. I don't have that. I don't have it in my heart because my heart is changed through faith, through learning, through being like that and growing self-esteem and the people that I'm around and the mentors and how I live my life. So you got to change. People want to change without changing. They just want to say, oh, yeah, I just procrastinate a little bit. It's like, well, not really. There's a lot more to it than that. That's a polite way of saying it. And I understand that we're using language. But the real deeper meaning is what I've been describing for the last 46 minutes. Tyson Fury. I love Tyson Fury. He's fantastic. He's changed my life. He gets it. He gets criticized. People are jealous. They're jealous because he's the heavyweight champion and he's wealthy and he's outspoken and he's got a good heart and he's a man of faith, and they don't like it. They say, but he doesn't care. Same way I don't care, because he's in a good place. Gratitude and overcoming these fears. You're not scared anymore when you've been through it. When you've grown up with guns, violence, people trying to kill you, when you've overcome mental health problems, when you've overcome wanting to kill yourself, you're not scared of a little bit of criticism, especially from keyboard warriors. It's almost like a chihuahua nibbling at a lion. It ain't going to do much. But you can also get to a level where you're like, you can understand why they're doing that because they're not in a good place. And you can work on saying, you know what, Lord, I don't always have the power. Please give me the strength to forgive them and to forgive me too for my mistakes, because I'm a work in progress too. Then it's beautiful. You keep going and you can laugh about it. You can laugh about it. But you can also appreciate the millions of people that you inspire. The amount of love that I get is amazing. I can go most places around. I wouldn't do it, but let's say I had to. If I fell homeless and I had no money, no food, there's most places around the world. If I reached out and said, I'm struggling, I know people would help me because you're good people. You care about me and I care about you and you've got a good heart. And that's because of living my purpose, of being genuine and also not being perfect either. And having the courage to say, yeah, I've made mistakes, but so has everyone. And that's the power of being who you are, living your purpose. And my mentor's right, Jeff. When you're living your purpose and you're true to what you're doing and you're helping people and you've got a good heart, people will travel all around the world to come and work with you, to spend money, to pay you money, or people will want to meet you. He says his words, not mine, but I agree. These are Jeff's words and they're beautiful because they want to touch the hand of congruence. They want to be around someone who is honest about the fact about how messed up they've been and how they struggled, but how they found something better in life. They found God, they found love, they found truth, they found purpose, they found meaning, they found humanity. People want to be around people like that because it's so rare. It's so rare to meet people that are like that. And I've said before, you know, I'm blessed to have a nan that I had because my nan was one of very few people that didn't have a hidden agenda, that didn't want anything from anyone. One of the best teachers in my life, my nan, one of the most kindest, loving human beings. And everyone thought that about my nan. And she was hilarious too. She had a great sense of humor. You know, she watched horror movies. She watched Western movies. She used to crack up laughing. My nan was amazing. And if it wasn't for my nan, I wouldn't be here now. I might not have made it. So it's a proof, but they're in our hearts, they're in spirit. And I feel my nan all the time. And I know that my nan's with me. So this is really what it takes to overcome procrastination. It's all these things, but people don't want to talk about it because they're scared. They're scared to go deeper past the surface-based, boring, mundane, miserable truths of just saying, I'll procrastinate. Come on, you're better than that. You can do it. Any of you can do it. I am no better than anyone. I'm just a human being like you. I go to the toilet. I've got a family. I don't have any cats yet. I'd like to get some, but I'm a normal person, but I'm determined. And Les Brown inspired me by sharing his story with me all those years ago. You can do this. What's your purpose? If you have purpose, you don't need any money. You don't need all these resources. You just need purpose, your heart, and things will work out. Money will come after if that's what people are struggling with. And I know a lot of people are. And my purpose is to also educate and help people to better their finances, because I know what it's like to struggle and have no money and feel and just be frightened you haven't got any money. I've been through it and I've survived it. I've had a lot of money. I've had no money. I can be happy, completely present and happy with nothing, no money. Obviously, a little bit of food. I'll always get that and show up, thank God. Or I can be happy with a lot of money because of my experience and because of finding all these things: meaning, purpose, gratitude. And that's the problem in the world today, is that people don't take responsibility. Everyone wants to hate the next person. It's sad, really. It's a shame, but things are changing. There is a lot of good in the world, but that's the thing. People don't realize that they're their own worst enemy, their own darkness, their own lack of education. They can do it, but I understand. I remember years ago a friend saying to me, this is a very long time ago. I was young, I was a good person, but I was ignorant, I was naive, I was angry, I was a critic, and he said to me, Jonathan, you could start your own business. And I got upset with him. He's a lovely friend. He was encouraging me. It's one of the best friends I had. When I was broke, I had no money. He used to always feed me, him and his family. He used to let me stay at his house. He used to give me confidence. And he loved me. He was a really good friend. He was what I call a proper man, a strong man with a good heart. He helped me. And I got upset with him and said, oh, how dare you say that? How dare you say that? How can I start my own business? I didn't go to university. I don't have any money. I went in the right space. He was smart. He could see something in me that I couldn't see at the time. Now it makes sense. I'm doing it. So I'm trying to explain the nature of human ignorance and how procrastination is all of these things and how it holds them back. Really appreciate everyone coming on these streams. A lot of people, the good thing about these videos, and I've noticed, people come back. I get people coming on my videos years later, and it helps them. Sorry there. So yeah, have a think about that, process that, because things do take time and you've got to be patient. This is fantastic. I love it. Critics, you guys are the best. Man, I appreciate the critics, man. As I said, in Jesus' name, I forgive you. I appreciate all of you, because without you, I wouldn't be successful and happy. I couldn't do it without you guys. You guys have helped me. You've been mentors in disguise, because when I was younger, I was frightened of people that are in your place. I was afraid. I was really scared of what you thought about me, and scared that you might attack me, you might bully me, you might kill me, you might beat me, you might shame me, you might expose me, all these things. And those things happened to me. And that broke me down, but that made me change. That made me not afraid of criticism, especially online. I mean, I can see the funny side of it too. I've got a good sense of humor. Thank God for that. The Irish in me. Maybe we're related. But honestly, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. It's taken me even of recent, because critics really they really test your character. They test it continuously. And if someone criticizes you and you respond in aggression and anger, this is really honest stuff. I learned this from my mentor. Then they're bringing out what's in me, what's in us. But it doesn't make it right, though. So people criticizing people in a nasty way is not good, not good for them or anyone else. But of course, you realize forgiveness, you're not in a good place. I've been there, I understand. And you've got a right to your opinion. They've got a right not to like me. They've got a right to not like my what do you guys say about me? I like it that I'm bald. I got my receding hairline where I hide it, I comb it. Yep, they've got a right to say that. They've also got a right to not like me because I'm too good looking to some people. I'm not good looking enough. I'm this, I'm that. They've got a right to their opinion, but it doesn't change my life. Well, that's actually not true. It does change my life because it makes me better. I need a bit of the criticism. It motivates me. Me and my friend were talking. He's another amazing person who's been very successful. He overcome a lot. He helps a lot of people. And he said, Jonathan, do you remember back in the day? How did you didn't care about criticism? It motivated. I said, it motivated me. I said, I was younger then. You know, I had a bit more of an ego and I weren't going to have it. Now I'm calmer. You know, I'm a lot more calmer now. Yep, that's true. Yep, all that stuff. Yep, whatever. So it's experience. But also, it's good to use tools like this where you can go, you know what? I'm going to block them as well. I'm going to shut them out. And that's how you don't feed demons that are in people. And you report because it's harassment. They're projecting what they're doing. And you have you keep going. There we go. But I love it. I love it because I'm prepared for it. I train for it. It always comes. Please come. I'm ready. Ready for the demons, ready for the criticism. The Lord's prepared me for this. My faith in Jesus Christ has made me strong for this. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to die for my faith. I made my plea with God a long time ago. That's how much I love Jesus and appreciate God and love the goodness in what I'm doing in people. So I'm ready to go. Ready to go. But forgiveness is definitely something that I'm praying on for all of you. Right, let's get back to good to see you, Alan. But it's good. I want people to see this. I want them to see what happens when you face procrastination. But I also want I want to practice this. And it's I love all these guys. I mean this from my heart. All the people criticizing me, I love them. I want to meet them. I want to be friends with them. I want to buy them coffee. Honestly, I want to sit down with them. From my heart, I love all of them. I just think they're beautiful. And I know they love me deep down. I know they love me. I know deep down they love me. So it's mutual. We just show it in different ways. And I don't show it in hate. But I love them. They're still my brothers. They're still my friends. And I'm not better or below anyone. And God's been patient with me. You're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. I probably can't afford coffee. So why don't we go halves? I love them. Honestly, I love them. I do love them. Do you know what? I'm gonna make you guys a tea. What do you guys want? I'll be back in a second. I do love I can't help it. I've got to be honest. I love them. Ah, yeah, man. Love the critics. Can't complain really. You can't complain when you're getting a lot of love and you're blessed in your life, and you know when you've come from a place of, because I've obviously come from the same place as the critics. They've been there. It's not a nice place. When you've been down, which I've been down, and suicidal and having mental health problems, when you overcome that and you get into a good place and lots of people like you and you like yourself and you enjoy life and you've helped a lot of people and you've made money and you've been to the most amazing places, you can't complain to a certain degree when people criticize you. And that's something that I've learned a lot from the boxers. And we all do it. We all do it to a certain degree. Maybe we don't do it as hateful, and I wouldn't do it as hateful as, I don't think this stuff today is that bad, to be fair, to what some people get. I'm surprised that you guys are not saying that you're going to shoot me, you're going to kill me, you're going to come to my home, you're going to take me out. So you haven't said that, because I've had that before. So it's pretty fair. But at the end of the day, everyone's got their opinion, haven't they? But the most important thing is, well, I don't think it's the most, but it's very important, is your opinion of yourself. And if you can still treat people with kindness and respect, despite the pain, the hurt that people put on you, then you're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good. And as I said, we have to acknowledge that at some point we've all been critics, maybe to different degrees. How does it make us feel? I know for me, if I fall into the realms of being overly critical, even if I feel justified, I don't feel good about myself. I start realizing, oh, I'm criticizing and I'm doing it a lot and I'm overdoing it. It's because I'm not happy about something in my life. So it's all learning, all lessons. I've never really understood why I don't get more criticism. I probably will. But yeah, it's fascinating. You can learn from everyone. As it's true. Everyone's your teacher. Yeah, I'm definitely a nobody. Definitely. I mean, everyone knows that. That's a no-brainer. Everyone knows that. That's obvious. Tell me something I don't know. I'm bald. I'm a nobody. I'm broke. I've got no money. I'm mentally unwell. I'm cringe. Yeah, I'm definitely cringe. Definitely cringe. I agree. There's nothing these. I agree. I agree. I definitely agree on that. I don't even know why you watch my videos. I'm a nobody. I'm a loser. I'm terrible. I'm cringe. I'm old. I'm bald. I'm broke. Um, I say the same things every time. I'm an embarrassment. I'm shamed. I'm this. I don't know why you watch me. All right, I'll follow your advice, Alan. Yep, I'm a coward too. There's truth in that. I'm definitely a coward. That's why what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna find my courage. I'm gonna learn from you guys, because you guys and girls, I probably know you. I bet you're like friends that I grew up with. I bet I know where you live. I bet all of you are probably friends that hanged around with me. And man, I'd love to go for a coffee with all of you and meet in person and be friends. I'll pay for it. But this is good, because I want to show people how to deal with critics, how to love them and forgive them and not take it personal, and keep living your dreams. It's worth it. tell you what though, right? I mean this, and I've been saying this ongoingly. I appreciate all of you coming on the stream and support. This has been amazing. But yeah, it's been yeah, I just can't believe the lesson that I'm getting to. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate everyone coming on, and the critics, the love that I've got for them. The love in my heart that I've got for the critics is so overwhelming. I can't explain it in words. Let's just say I really love them. I mean it. I'm not joking. I think what's happened is, I think me going through a mental health breakdown after being quote unquote successful and being happy for a while, but also being ungrateful at times. I think it's made me appreciate people more and understand criticism, because I follow a lot of people that I like. I see their criticism, and I'm going to be straight. These guys have made me feel special, or these whoever they are, whether I know them or not, whether they're family members, whether we're brothers or we were friends, or you know me. They've made me feel special and appreciated, which was something that I never felt growing up. We can do a little bit of self-analysis, psychology. I always didn't feel accepted. I always felt people don't appreciate me, they don't love me. But when I'm with these guys, I feel appreciated. I feel understood. And that's the way I feel about it. But this is a message to everyone who wants to better their life. You never get criticized when you stay in your house. You let your social anxiety win the paranoia. You don't trust anyone. You don't go out and find the good people, and you don't forgive people, and you don't work on being a good person yourself. You don't get criticized. I never got any criticism in my 20s because I was on benefits. I was depressed. I was suicidal. I felt like a loser. I did have some good friends and family, but I didn't want to come out my flat. So no one criticized me because I didn't speak out of fear of criticism. When I found my courage and I found my faith again, and I got inspired by Les Brown, by bullies, all different types of inspiration. When I become successful in this world we live in, I started getting criticism, a lot of criticism, then a lot of love, then a lot of criticism, then a lot of love. And as my friend says, now as my friend said, he's right. He says, 1 minute they love you, then they hate you, then they love you, then they accuse you, then people don't know who they are from one day to the next unless they do know who they are. So it's a fascinating, all this. These critics today are giving everyone a better lesson than I could give you. They're teaching you why you procrastinate. All of us, they're all teaching. They've got more wisdom than I've got. They're teaching more than I could ever teach. Amazing, isn't he, Les Brown? He's amazing. He's still going strong at 77. I absolutely love Les Brown. Amazing speaker. For me, Les Brown is the greatest speaker of all time, in my opinion. So people procrastinate because they fear criticism. Oh, 78. You're right. Excuse me. Wow. He has me in stitches, Les Brown. When he said he uses shoe polish to dye out the grays, just love him. What can I say? The man changed my life. Loving this stream, really enjoying it. So we're gonna continue. We're gonna end on a positive. So more advice on how a person, whatever stage they're at, how they can overcome the anxiety and fear of procrastinating so they can improve their life, themselves, in any relationship. So, for example, actually, I'll give you an exercise, and I've been doing a lot of it on all platforms on Instagram. Running, doing hill runs, um, going for runs builds mental toughness, character. It's easier to forgive when you're in a good place, fit body, fit mind, and it gives you the strength and comfort. People need strength today. They're lacking in strength. Strength can also be described as using the word confidence, which is a nice word, but sometimes I don't think it really sums it up. If I had to pick one, I'd say strength. Strength of what? Strength of character. Being able to go into the trenches and handle things when they get challenging, but also handle it when it goes well. If you can handle the criticism, you can handle the love. You've got to handle both. It can't all be rosy, hunky-dory. It can't always go well. And that's what makes you appreciate life and humbles all of us. So there's times where you're going to be criticized by your friends, by your family, and by yourself. Are you for you or are you against you? Because most people don't get control of that critic. That critic up here and the same one in everyone's head, that's more vicious and critical than any critic in this live stream. I don't even really feel as them a critic. I just feel they're extended family members that I love. And I know they love me deep down. They just show it in a different way. And I want to buy them all coffees. I really mean that at the right time. They're welcome. They're my friends. I mean that from my heart. So can you handle your own inner critic through discipline? So you work on it. Another strong one, which is stronger than all. Be strong for someone else. If it's just about you and it's just about me, you probably won't succeed. Let me give you an example. So let's say we've got someone here, a man or a woman of any age, and their dream is to be a motivational speaker like Les Brown or what I do or Tony Robbins. They have got a passion for it. It is their dream since there was a young boy or young girl. But they're just thinking about themselves. They're just thinking about what they're going to get. They're going to make money. They're going to be famous. Everyone's going to... That's all they're thinking about. That might be okay for a while. That's not enough. That won't last. They're going to break down. But if they're thinking from their heart, yep, obviously it's to fulfill my dreams, but I want to help people. I want to inspire people. I want to give all my heart to help other people. Whether they like me, they love me, they hate me, they criticize me, they want to serve other people, they're going to go to another level because the purpose is stronger and the vision than just them. And all successful people that I've learned from, I'm lucky to have successful friends that are kind, good people. I guess I'm successful. I mean that with humility. They have got a passion. They do it. They live it. They live it in their everyday walk of life. They inspire people, they serve people, they encourage people, they make people feel great. And that gives you a different type of strength. And anyone can do that if they want to, if they choose to. But it takes courage, it takes guts, it takes a lot of courage. Doesn't take any money, cost any money or fame or followers, but it takes something that's on the inside. And that's a choice. Being courageous is a choice. Living your dreams and your purpose is a choice, as it's a choice to not live your dreams and to live in defeat. So that's another thing that I've learned, and I'd say, and I learned this I learned it from my own experience, from teaching, from learning, and other good people. I'll let all of you just digest that and process that. What I'm going to do is just let me know in comments or whatever. I will simplify this message. I know I've gone very deep. I love it. I enjoy it. Most of my clients, friends, and people that follow me, they're the same. They like going deeper beyond the surface. And I will break this down into more. I've done it in other videos. I'll cover it more with daily discipline. So I'll explain it right now. So go to the gym, work out regularly, find the routine which works for you, whether it's boxing, MMA, weight training, running, hill runs, physical exercise where you get your heart rate up, you sweat, you break a sweat, you feel good, you get those good emotions going, it improves your mental strength. That discipline, that skill will help you to overcome any pattern where procrastination is showing up in your life, whether you're struggling to leave a relationship, because it happens to people, they're in the wrong relationship, in a marriage potentially, or in a romantic relationship, and they're not happy no more and they want to leave, but they can't find the strength, they keep procrastinating. Or if it's a relationship where you don't like your body because you're overweight, I've been there, and you want to lose weight, but every time you try and do it, you procrastinate, you don't start the diet, you don't stick to the regime, you can do it there. Whatever the case may be, whether it's traveling, you want to travel the world or to another country, but you keep putting it off, you're not buying the tickets, you can do it in any area. Once you understand the discipline and you've got the character, you can apply it to any area, which is why it's amazing. Right, on that note, that's enough for today. That's been amazing. I appreciate everyone coming on. Love to everyone. I appreciate all the critics as well. I've learned a lot. You've given me a lot of ideas moving forward to help more people. I love all of you. I appreciate all of you. And I would love to go for a coffee with some of you when the time is right. Let me know when your schedule works. But I appreciate it. I love all of you. Appreciate all of you. And I'll see you in the next video live stream. I'm doing this every day. I live this. I love it. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Good luck with everyone. And I'll see you soon.